If you've never heard of Ernest Langdon, he's the real deal. He has over 12 years of active duty in the Marine Corps, serving all over the world. After that, he came back to the States and completed over 40 formal shooting schools with instructor certifications from the FBI, the NRA, the U.S. Army, and the U.S. Marine Corps. He also has 25 years of competitive shooting experience with a Grandmaster rating in the US PSA and Distinguished Master in IDPA. He holds 10 national championships and 2 world speed shooting titles. He has also worked as a consultant for several gun companies and over the years has become a very accomplished gunsmith, giving birth to Langdon Tactical Technologies, also known as LTT. So needless to say that this guy is the real deal, and when he decides to put his name on the side of a gun, you better take notice because there's a lot backing that name. And he must be so proud that his gun found its way to some rednecks in Alabama, and while I don't have anywhere near the background Ernest Langdon does, I do know a very fine pistol when I get my hands on one, and this is a very fine pistol. If he's watching this, he's probably cringing at our poor form, but nonetheless, I am greatly enjoying his pistol. Also, with a background in both actual military experience and literally world-renowned competitive shooting experience, has given him a very unique perspective, allowing him to develop a gun that excels in both real-world use and competition at the same time. That's why I think this is the ultimate incarnation of the Beretta 92 to date. So let's get into it and see just how this gun would be at home on the battlefield as a carry gun or plinking steel. Let's take a look at what it sets it apart from other Beretta 92s, and since I also have a Wilson Combat Brigadier, we'll do a comparison to that in case you are trying to decide between the two. The first thing I noticed when I grabbed the Langdon Tactical LTT for the first time is the grips. I've personally never felt a slimmer set of grips for the 92. They are made for him by VZ, they are G10, and they are super grippy. They also have texturing higher up on the grips than any other grips available. This just really makes sense when you think about it because this texturing is up where you actually grip the gun. But what really is impressive is just how these ultra-thin grips really improve the overall feel and overall ergonomics of the pistol as a whole. They really just make the 92 feel like a much smaller, slimmer gun in your hands. Langdon went with the Vertex Slide. This is the same slide that is used on the Beretta M9A3, and it has some features that do make it an excellent choice. First off, it has dovetailed front and rear sights. That means you can easily swap the sights to whatever you like, which is something that can't be done on all 92s. The LTT Elite features a bright, easy to pick up front fiber optic and a black serrated rear. It's also lighter than other slides for the 92. This means that you'll have less mass recoiling, which will translate to lower felt recoil to the shooter. Also, the LTT has front serrations, something that is missing on most 92s. The barrel also doesn't protrude out the front like on many 92s. It's only 4.7 inches long, so it will clear a holster faster. It also has a really nice crown that will protect the rifling and preserve that accuracy. This is also a G model. That means that it is decocker only with no real safety. And personally, I feel that this is the best configuration for a 92. One of my biggest gripes with the 92 is the location of the safety. By deleting it, you remedy that situation. Plus, this is still really safe to carry, as you can decock the gun putting it in double action, meaning that the first pull on the trigger will be a more deliberate, longer pull, essentially acting like a safety, with the following shots being a very light single action pull. If you're in the market for a Beretta 92, no matter which one it may be, I'd highly recommend getting a G model. The mags have a corrosion-resistant coating on them, and you do get 3 with the gun. And interestingly enough, they are cut for the older heel-release Beretta 92s. I personally think that's great because I happen to own one of those, but I do find it a little bit odd. The frame is an M9A1. That basically means that it is cut to accept a light or a laser. The big deal to me is the checkering on the front and back strap, just giving you a little bit better grip. There is a beveled magazine well, and the lanyard loop has been deleted. There's also an oversized magazine release, which makes getting the mag out super easy, and an Elite hammer. Also exclusive to the LTT model is a radius trigger guard, which should make those long-range sessions more pleasant. Another thing that I found really interesting that shows just how much care and attention Langdon put into his signature model is the back of the slide has been relieved as well. Apparently some shooters get slide bite from the 92, and this softer edge should help with that. The trigger is easily one of the best, if not the best, available currently in the Beretta 92 platform. It is amazingly smooth and pulling at a very crisp 3.5 pounds in single action and about 8 pounds in double action on my scale. The reset is short for a 92, but if you're used to some of the newer striker-fired guns on the market, it may be a little long for your liking. The trigger is also made of metal as well as the guide rod. Some of the cheaper incarnations of the 92 have gone to plastic, and at least in my opinion, the metal just feels so much better. This is truly the perfect incarnation of the Beretta 92 because it combines great match features with realistic combat features, letting it walk that thin line between having all the great features of a match gun while still being something you could carry and protect your life with. We ran well over 1,000 rounds through the LTT, and no big surprise, it had 100% function. The gun is far more accurate than most of the people that'll ever shoot it. It's a real pleasure to shoot, and at least currently, in my opinion, it is the best 92 you can get. A while back we reviewed the Wilson Combat Brigadier Tactical, and several have asked how the Langdon compares to the Wilson, so I'll briefly go over the differences because there's really only a few differences and a bunch of similarities. The Langdon uses the Vertex Slide, which is a good bit lighter than the thicker, heavier Brigadier Slide on the Wilson. While it's not a ton of weight, it is enough to notice and just makes the Langdon feel like more of a gun you'd want to carry and use. Also, after shooting both back to back, I don't think the Wilson gains anything from the weight on the slide. The grips on the Langdon are significantly better as well. It may sound stupid to say that the grips make such a huge difference, but they really do. I'm going to say it again, these ultra-thin grips make this 92 feel better in the hand than any other 92 I've ever picked up. Also, the texture going above the top grip screw just really makes sense and gives you much more texture where you actually need it. The triggers are both excellent and really just about the same. When you shoot them back to back, the Wilson starts to feel more like a match gun, while the Langdon feels like something you would carry while maintaining all the match characteristics if you wanted to use it for that. If you already have the Wilson, there's no reason to get rid of it in favor of the Langdon. They're both really great guns and very similar. However, if you're in the market for one or the other, I might lean towards the Langdon. Or if you're just a really huge fan of really fine Beretta 92s, maybe just get both. This is at least currently my favorite Beretta 92 available, and is actually a great value for all the features that you get. If you've ever wanted to see just what was capable out of the 92 platform, this is the shining example. If you're getting one, make sure that it comes directly from Langdon Tactical Technologies, because Beretta is now selling the gun as well, but it won't have the enhanced trigger from Langdon Tactical. Langdon Tactical actually has several different trim levels for the gun. I just got the trigger job and I'm extremely impressed. It would be interesting to see how some of the higher end trim levels perform. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we drop a new review. We've got some really big new reviews coming up and you won't want to miss them. If you want to keep up with what's being reviewed way before it hits the YouTube channel, be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We post all the stuff we're currently reviewing there way before it hits the YouTube channel. If you want to help support Alabama Arsenal, the best possible way to do that is through Patreon. Every little bit helps and we greatly appreciate it. There are also t-shirts and hoodies for sale right below the video, and that helps out as well. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Missed one.
You suck. I can't believe you missed one.